Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Mike Voorhees with the 3-3-0 to go high school football show. This Friday, our game of the week features the Walsh Jesuit Warriors hosting the San Ignatius Wildcats. Right now, I have the honor and privilege to bring on to the show head coach of the San Ignatius Wildcats, Ryan Franzinger. Coach, welcome to the show. How are we feeling today?
Thanks. Feeling great. Yeah, thanks for having me, Mike. It's great to be here.
Absolutely, Coach. I gotta address the elephant in the room. I got your roster from Joe Mertens. Joe and I used to work together at Q92, so it's always nice to keep in touch with him. He sent me a roster, and I'm looking over all the different names, and then I get to your coaching staff. And there's two names that literally jumped off the page because I am a huge nerd, and I don't know if everybody would recognize them, but I did. And that's former NFL players Elvis Grbac and LeCharles Bentley, who were on your coaching staff. How in the world did you get two former NFL players who are also San Ignatius graduates like yourself? How cool is it to have them on your coaching staff?
Oh, Mike, it's amazing. They're fantastic men, great coaches. They know a ton of football, have incredible experiences from their playing time. LeCharles obviously is an alumnus. Elvis is not, but Elvis is teaching theology. So we're actually in the same theology department. We're coaching football together. Now, I will say I hope Coach Ike Charlton doesn't see this because he also played in the NFL. He's our defensive backs coach.
I
He's
did
not
not
as
know
much of a
that.
he's not as much of a local celebrity like maybe the other guys.
Okay.
LeCharles approached me before I really, even took over. His son Charles is a freshman. I actually have him in class, and LeCharles he offered his help, and I'd be foolish not to accept it. Elvis Grbac he coached here about 10 years ago,
Okay.
so he's back, but this is his first time teaching in the building. So that was a natural move to invite him on the staff. They do a great job. They've built great relationships with their players. It's I'm just incredibly fortunate to have them and a heck of a great staff. Even guys who didn't play in the NFL or didn't coach in the NFL, some really solid people. We can't forget Drew Haddad either, who had a little NFL career too.
The name did kind of ring a bell, but I didn't want to assume. So that I think that's fantastic.
Nice,
It
nice move,
it
Mike.
never hurts. It never hurts to have some celebrities around you. I guess that kind of helps you a little bit, and obviously with their knowledge of being in the NFL, I mean they can correlate
Sure.
that to these kids
And
who may want to keep playing.
oh, of course, we have a number of players, and that's their dream. But playing in the NFL does not simply equate with being a great high school coach. There's vast differences in the game, the people that you coach, and I've always believed it starts with a relationship. Those guys have done that for us. But yeah, simply playing in the NFL or playing at a high college level, that simply it doesn't translate perfectly right away. It can, and
Mhm.
we're lucky that it has for us. But like I've said, you have to build that relationship with the young men, and even with professionals. I think, although I never played or coached at that level, the coach-player relationship is so crucial to success, that's what has to happen.
Awesome. Well, Coach, let's jump right into your season. Obviously, a tough loss to Avon and a close loss to Menor to start the season. Last week, you were able to pick up the win against Dublin Coffman on the road. What have you learned about your team so far this season?
One of the great things I've learned is that we're going to fight. So we were down 21-0 to Avon, who's a really fantastic team, fantastic program. We came back, fought back, got it to 2 scores. They picked up a late touchdown, made it a 3-score game. Mentor, we were down 20-7 and brought that back, had a chance to win. And then went down to Dublin, 2-hour bus ride. We had about an hour rain delay against regional runners up down in that region. So the team's going to fight. That was one of the things after looking at some of the games last year, they were lopsided. we had a few blowouts. And so that's not acceptable to us. And so to see a group of fighters, that's very encouraging. And that's really what we expect. So we hope to continue that through the rest of the season.
Well, Coach, we know you got some weapons on offense. You're led by senior running back Grant Washington, senior wide receiver / safety Cody Haddad. What makes these guys so special for you?
Well, God has blessed them with incredible gifts. I think we have to start there, especially being here in a Catholic school. We got a Catholic school matchup, and I teach theology. So God has given them gifts, but it's their responsibility to develop those as much as possible. Those guys are great competitors. They practice hard. They're very diligent in their preparation, whether it's preparation for practice, for the opponent, or for all the things that happen in game. So that's, I think, what kind of separates the great from the good.
Couldn't agree more. Coach, we can't talk about the offense without including your defense, led by leading tackler Nick Rivera, junior defensive lineman Ryan Taylor, who's gotten 3 tackles for loss. He was in on the first sack of the season for your defense last week as well. What has the message been so far to your defense throughout this season through 3 games?
Yeah, well, we've faced some really amazing quarterbacks, senior quarterbacks, and we see another one this week. Those guys are always tough to beat. If you have a veteran senior quarterback who's skilled, the guys have been elusive. No matter what, with that type of experience and that type of skill, you better come ready to play. And we had some trouble getting the guys on the ground the last few weeks. So I think, it's safe to say, hey, you guys got to toughen up a little bit. We got to do better against the run, that's for sure. Teams have had success doing that against us. The guys like you mentioned, Ryan Taylor, Nick Rivera, another really outstanding junior, Jay-Sean Thomas, is a strong safety for us. So that's been the message. Hey, we gotta bring a little more force. We got to stop the run and toughen up.
Well, we know this Friday you're taking on a 3-0 Walsh team. They've had some tough opponents as well. They've outscored their opponents 136-56. What has been the message to the Wildcats this week?
Yeah, well, we've acknowledged their success. They're doing a great job. Coach Alexander and his staff, they're doing a great job with their players. They've scored 50 points a couple times already. That's very, very impressive. So we've had to be sound in our preparation, going out to practice, treating it almost like a game. If that scout team's getting yards, it's likely going to be more yards on Friday night with the Walsh Warriors. So preparation has to be crucial. It has to be thorough. A lot of time in the film room, whether it's with the coaches or at home on their own. We're facing an outstanding offense and a great football team.
Coach, obviously, Friday night, big game, not only for you guys, for Walsh. You're on the road. What are you excited about the Mike Vrabel retirement? I know, being a fan of the NFL, you might be. Are you looking forward to that? You probably won't get to see much because you're going to be busy coaching, but are you excited?
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited for the game and for the atmosphere there. I guess the retirement will be after the first quarter, so we'll probably be busy, making adjustments and having our huddle with our team. But I think it's great to honor such an amazing player and coach. And Walsh is privileged to have him as an alumnus. He did great things for their programs and for their school. So that hasn't been a real source of excitement, probably because I'm busy trying to get ready for this,
of course,
this terrific opponent. I hope it's a very enjoyable experience for the fans. I hope Walsh enjoys their festivities and inviting Mike back and retiring his number. That's probably a pretty rare thing, I would assume. High school football teams don't have the luxury of retiring too many numbers. You need them to be available. So, no, the Vrabel aspect, I think it's great for Walsh, but our focus has been on preparing for them. And you know what? If we have the chance to bump into him or to get a minute during that timeout to acknowledge him, we'll take advantage of that. That's very special.
That's awesome. Coach, before we let you go, we appreciate your time. What would you like to say to Iggy Nation before Friday night's game? The floor is yours. What do you want to tell everybody?
Well, you kind of revealed a little bit, because if you say Iggy, we know that you're outside of the Ignatius community, but that's okay, Mike. Come and see a great football game. It's going to be a great atmosphere down at Walsh's campus. A lot of festivities going on. 2 really solid programs, 2 fantastic teams. So come and see us. Come and support us. We're relying on you, because Walsh, they're gonna show up. They're expecting a sellout, and it's going to be really quality football.
Awesome. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, it is head coach of the St. Ignatius Wildcats, Ryan Franzinger. Coach, we want to thank you for your time. We want to wish you good luck this Friday and for the rest of the season. And we hope we get a chance to talk to you again soon.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me on.